All right, I wanted to take some time and just talk about Bitcoin. Um, I want to kind of see where we've been, where we are, and what I think it's happening, and where we might be going next year. Um, so the prices for the 2017 um, have been moving up, and then we've hit a high in the end of 2017, and then we had a big bear market during 2018. At the end of 2018, around December 14, December 15 here, December 15, we hit the low. And the low was roughly, depending on the platform, at about 3168. 3160, let's call it, right? And that's been a few months back. Ever since then, um, Bitcoin has been trying to recover. Has it done it in an aggressive mode? No. And why is that? Maybe because the bear market was pretty large, maybe because people were discouraged. Nobody really wants to get in. Maybe some think that it's still going to make new lows. So it's it's a little bit of pessimism out there, right? Or at least that's what happens after you have a major bear market. But we've recovered, and we've recovered about let's say from 3160 to, let's say, roughly 4100, where we are now, about $1,000 in price. And after this strong move up here in wave one, uh, that kind of gave us some clues that we are beginning at least to have a major correction in Bitcoin. And this was a strong five-way move up. This looks like a terminal move into a wave four to complete a larger structure Z. And then this wave here gave us an indication that things might be about to recover. So what happens after the first wave one? Within this wave, you have 5 subwaves. After this wave one, we have an ABC correction with a double bottom at about 3370 level. All right, that's a clear ABC down. And if you go inside, and I've talked about this, you can look inside this wave A. It's probably a 3-wave move down. You have another 3-wave move up, and then a 5-wave move down into an ending diagonal. So that's what it's called, a flat. Or maybe it's a zigzag. Maybe this wave one, it's an A. It's a 5-wave move. This is a 3-wave move as a B, and then 5-wave move. So either a zigzag or a flat, it doesn't really matter. We can really get into it and see exactly what it is. But for right now, this pullback here into this 786 Fibonacci retracement level told us that this move is over. So you have an ABC, and now you're expecting a 5-wave move up. So if you're taking the wave of the higher degree, which is this green wave, if you have a 5-wave move up and a 3-wave correction, you're expecting a 3-wave move up, a 5-wave move up into a wave 3. Now, let's say that started, right? So you have here wave 1, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we pull back in 2. We were talking about possibly this wave 2 coming lower. It didn't happen yet, right? So the market decided to move higher. And this is a daily chart where you can see kind of the biggest picture. The bias is to the top side in Bitcoin. Now, what's happening here, and kind of what worries me just a little bit here, it's this trend line that comes all the way from the top. And we are approaching this trend line, and this is on a semi-log scale. And I want to see what happens here. Is the market going to break through it really fast? Are we going to pull back in it? What's going to happen? So I have a few worries here, but the good news is that I still think we are in a bullish development. And I tell you why. So this is wave 1, and then we pull back in 2. Now, what's going on in this wave? And let's go to a 6-hour chart and just look a little bit inside that move. Because if this is a wave 1 complete, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a 1, 2, because the levels overlap. So it's probably a leading diagonal. If this is a leading diagonal in wave 1, we have to pull back into a wave 2. And we cannot come below 3672 because that would invalidate this count. So you know that if you are to go long here in a wave 1 and you're pulling back, you know that below 3672, you're wrong. You got to get out, right? But let's look inside and see what's going on. So you have 1, 2, and let's say we are in the middle of developing this wave 3. And before I do that, I just want to kind of take a look and tell you where this wave 3 target can be, right? So this 100% right here, 46.42, this is where wave 3, this yellow wave, would be equal to wave 1, right? So markets have a tendency, moving in equal terms and having, some sort of a balance. So let's say at the minimum, this wave 3 should be at 100%. If this wave 3 is lower than that, what's going on next? Because wave 3 cannot be the shortest, right? That means that the next wave, wave 5, will have to be even shorter than wave 3. Okay, so this is how Elliott wave gives you context into where to expect the moves to go. So if this wave 1, it's pretty strong, and it's about from 3370 to what, 4200, it's about 500 points. And probably this wave should be at least 500 points again, right? So it's from 3670 to about 4640. Let's see here. 36, no, it's about 1,000. From 36 to 46, it's 1,000. And from 33 to 43 was 1,000. Sorry, so I was wrong there. So it's about 1,000 point move and another 1,000 point move. So this would be at least a minimum projection of multiple of wave 1 into a wave 3. Now, if this wave really wants to go crazy, just watch this, right? You go 3, that's 138%. And then ideally, you would want a wave 3 that would reach 5,300, which is 161.8 multiple of wave 1. That's the ideal target of a wave 3, right? But let's be just cautious and, let's just say that it's going to go up all the way up to here, right? So that would be our first target. Now, for that to happen, either this wave 3, it's already in progress, and this is a series of 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and we're moving into a wave 3, okay? Or this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leading diagonal. We're moving back in 2, and then we shoot back up higher, all right? So let's go to a 6-hour chart. All right, so this is the 6-hour, all right? This is that wave 2 that we've looked at, right? We have 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC down, and now what's going on here? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5. Now, look at this, right? And exactly what I was talking on the daily chart. If this is a wave 1 where you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, for 1. Okay, now you have a zigzag, A, B, C in wave 2, right? You're shooting back up higher in wave 3, which will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's say this is a third wave, okay? Now you have a pullback. So what's going on here? This wave here, 1, and then you have this wave below this, right? This is not an impulsive move. So you cannot count this as a wave 1 unless this is a leading diagonal, because these are the rules of Elliott, okay? In a leading diagonal, waves can overlap, and they can be found as a first wave can be a 5-wave move, second wave can be a 3-wave move, this can be a 5-wave move, this can be a 3, and this has to be a 5. Okay, in the leading diagonal. Leading diagonals can be 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, or they can be 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, right? Each wave can have 3 waves. This one has the look of a 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, all right? So if it's a leading diagonal, and let's just kind of pull it up there and see what happens if that's the case. I'll go to here and just try to find it. Where are you? Ending diagonal. All right, here is a leading diagonal. All right, we'll take this and we go. Oh, I think it doesn't let me because I already have a sub-wave count. Hold on a second. All right, there you go. And I'm going to delete this. And let's decompose this as a leading diagonal. There you go. 1, decompose as a leading diagonal. Yes. All right. So I'm going to delete this. All right. So this would be the leading diagonal, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. Perfectly correct. What happens after the leading diagonal? And you would have to look into this wave 5 to see if you have 5 waves, right? So maybe you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say that this is done. It's complete. It's very close to the trend line. And we're going to pull back here, possibly, right? So let's do this and go, okay, now you have this wave one up. What's happening after a 5-wave move up? You're supposed to get a correction, right? So let's say that would be a wave two. Now, watch what happens. If this wave two comes below the origin of this wave two, you're wrong, right? Because it terminates beyond the origin of this wave two, right? The larger degree wave two. So that cannot happen. So this wave two has to sit anywhere between this low here and this high here. This is where this wave two has to be. And it would be a totally fine pullback for this to happen. You know, people would get scared or, you know, say, oh, we're going down, everything, it's over. And it's not over until you're going below this wave two. Now, once you're going below this, then you know that something is wrong and you got to go back and get out of the market and look at it and see what's the possibilities. And, you know, we can spend another hour looking at what might happen. And you can speculate a lot, but you got to have the market show you what's going on, right? So this would be 37.05. This would be a very critical level for this wave count, okay? So you have one, you have two. There is no signs yet that this is going to happen, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, what if this move here, it's a 1, 2, 1, 2, and we're moving higher, right? Let me show you that version. Okay, so let's delete this. Okay, now remember, we are still in this yellow 3, so that's where we're going. Let's say that this is a 1, 2, 1, 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, take this wave 3, and decompose it, and go and say, okay, it's an impulse wave, right? So now, which one is wave 1? Okay, this cannot be wave 1, or could it? Could it be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could. I guess it could, right? So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So wave 1. You can count that as a wave 1. And then you have a pullback into 1, 2. And now we're getting ready for a massive move up, which has to be in 5 waves. But what I was going to show you originally is this. This can be a 1. This can be a 2. Okay? And now you can decompose this wave 3 and say this is another impulse, right? So it's another 1, 2. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete 3, pull back in 4 and go up higher. So either one of these versions here are very bullish. Okay, the one that it's not that bullish is the one with the leading diagonal, where you say this is a wave 1 in a leading diagonal and we're going to pull back in 2. So watch what happens here. Watch what happens in this trend line and what's going on here. Okay, because this might give us a clue in what happens next. I am staying bullish. I am bullish on Bitcoin because the reason I've presented on the daily charts. I like the price action so far. You can even take and use a channeling here, right? You can go here and just pick up a channel and just say, okay, let's say how prices behave within this channel here. Okay, so keep an eye on this. Let's see if we're shooting back up higher here in a wave 3. Pulling back into a 4, or if we're shooting back up higher, then we know that this move is about to be very strong. So this is all I have for now. I'm not even going to go below a 6-hour chart. There's no point. There's a lot of ins and outs, right? I can count here 5 waves. So that's why I'm saying this could be done. And we're moving lower into a wave 2. And let's just go back there and just quickly look at, if that happens, where would the pullback be and how you could buy this pullback if you wanted to. Okay, so let's decompose this as an impulse. Let's do this as a wave 1, which is that leading diagonal, and let's see, let's give some relationship of 2 versus 1. Okay, so now we have the Fibonacci. You don't have to use this. Software uses this tool, which is automatic, which I like, but all you can do is use your Fibonacci tool and just go from here to here, and then you have your levels, right? You have 50, 61, and 78.6. So anywhere here, it's perfectly fine. If you're going below 786, I would start to be doubtful of this pullback. I would start to be scared and just say, uh-oh, we're approaching 37.05. We're going to dip below, and chances of that happening are pretty high. So After a leading diagonal, usually the pullbacks are pretty deep. So anywhere between 618 and 786, I think you'll be a good entry point if you wanted to, get into longs. And then your stop loss, would be below this level, and you would be wrong and you would get out. So this is a critical level. Okay, so this is all I have for Bitcoin. Sorry, I spent about 15 minutes on this video, a little bit long, but I think I wanted to take a deep look into what's going on in the pair and just have an overall view. If you guys like the content, give me some thumbs up, leave some comments, subscribe to the channel, and I'll try to do something similar maybe with the next pairs in the future. Thank you. See you later.